So hello friends, welcome to the second part of this video. So in this video we are going to implement the C# application that is responsible for generating the C++ pattern file that we created last week. So let's analyze the C++ pattern file. What should we implement? So this is the base PWM, so we are not going to change this one. So this is the pattern file that we are going to change. So here let's analyze the common things in this file. Alright, so we have this and this, and this variable we can generate when we generating the pattern. Alright, so let me show you the pattern file that I have created. So that is a simple pattern file that consists of only 1 second. So let me create a folder for that one. Alright, now this is the pattern that we are going to use. So let me zoom that in. So this is the pattern. So you have this diagonal lines. So these lines should represent some pattern in our LED program. So this is 1 second long, as we discussed last week. This one is the seconds. So horizontal pixels means the number of seconds. So 40 pixels means 1 second, and the vertical axis is 8. So it represents the 8 LEDs. So let's start our C# application. So I'm going to fire up my Visual Studio 2017 here. Let's start by a new project. So I'm just going to use a C# console application, classic console application. So console application. So let's rename as pattern LED. Alright, here's the file. So now, first off, let's enumerate this folder in order to retrieve all the pattern files. Alright, so for each loop here, for each. So the str file in. Now let's use directory.enumerate. So enumerate files. Alright, so my directory will be, so let's use this C/, and it will be PAT. Alright, so now I'm going to open this file as a bitmap. So var bmp is equals to bitmap. So I'm just going to hit Control and dot to import that runtime libraries here. So I think I have to add the reference here. So let's add the reference. System.drawing, I believe. If we insert this one, we can get the bitmap class. Alright, using system.drawing.bitmap. So from file, now the file is a str file here. Alright. So now I'm going to loop through vertical and horizontal. So first let's loop through a horizontal axis. So I'm going to use for loop for I equals 0, I equals bmp dot width. Alright, and under that I'm going to use another loop. So we are not bothering about the optimizations here, so we can do the optimization later. So for this one I'm going to use another for loop for height. So this will be j. So bmp.height, so j++. So right now I'm going to retrieve the pixel. So I0, J0 means x0, y0. So this is our y-axis. So if I get y-axis, and this is the x-axis. Alright, so now with this y and x axis we can get the pixel as pixel is bmp dot get pixel Alright, I believe this is casted as image, so that's why this one, so they say that you can simplify this, so if you simplify this will become image. So this variable was image. If we didn't convert it, this image does not have a get pixel, so here we now casted it, so we have get pixel. So get pixel, so x, I and y is j. Alright, so this is scraping y axis. So as you know, in images, you top left corner it's the 0 0. Alright, so in image the top left corner is 0 and 0, as you may already familiar in the Photoshop. The top left corner it's the 0 0. Alright, so from left to right you get positive x, and top to bottom you have positive y. Right, now here if these both are 0 0, that means we are in top left corner. So now let's try to print out the value. So let's say let's check whether we can get the value. So now I'm going to add these values, so R value, G value, B value, and divided by 3, so I can get a value between 0 to 255. Alright, so I'm going to var pval, that means pixels is, so pixel, so I'm not using alpha channel here, so R plus pxl dot G plus pxl dot B. Alright, so I add those three and divide those by 3, so I can get value between 0 and 255. I may get values in between, so but we are using a grayscale, so RGB either 255 or all RGBs are less than 255. So therefore we don't have any trouble with this equation. So I'm just going to write console.write. So this is let's just print like this, bulb. Let's see the bulb. So the j plus 1, so that means our bulb. So vertical is the bulb, as we discussed earlier. Color is, sorry, value is and pixel value. Alright, so if we run this, I'm going to start without debugging. Alright, so we can see that we have values. Let me format this a little bit. So alright, so this is one set, another set. Alright, so this is the pattern that generated. So this console window does not have buffer to store everything that printed down. So these are the values that generate from the Photoshop image that we draw. Alright, so now let's generate the C++ file. Alright, so for generation I'm going to use a string buffer. So cppstr buff is equals to new string buffer, or no, buffer is string builder, so this has a string buffer. So I'm going to remove this everything. Alright, now let's have a look at our C++ file. Alright, now if we take a look at the C++ file, we have common things like include, hashtag, includes, and this. Alright, now I'm simply going to copy those. So before the for each, I'm going to write So this var, sorry, not var. So I'm going to simply append a line here. So let me copy those and again append line. All right. Now let's add the bottom stuff. So we can add this one too. All right. So we can add like, so for readability I'm going to add another new line, just empty new line. All right. So here I'm going to copy this line, okay, like this, copy this one, oops. So now within this loop sorry, so within this loop this pattern generation happens. All right, so these are filled within the loop. All right, so at the end of the loop I'm going to use this one. So I'm after the loop, so this is my loop end. So I'm going to add the close brace for this one and a semicolon like this. All right, and this one we require this one. This is must be done after this, so let me write that one too. So for readability I again add some new empty line. So append line, just one single append line will do. So now other one. Now notice this should change. So let's change that later. Oops, I forgot to copy this. So I'm going to grab this to the toolbox. I'm going to add this toolbox now, right? So I simply can click this. All right. So I don't need to copy and paste this line. All right. Now this one we should do some different thing. So I'm going to use a string interpolation, and this one I replace as bmp dot width. All right. All right, looks like we don't have the bmp value. All right, so the thing is that inside this this code line here. So what we are going to do is, as you can see, this combines the files. All right, this combines multiple bmp files into one. So if you have when you complete this, it start the second bmp and go 0 to again somewhere. All right, and third one, all right, always like it goes from file to file. So at the total we should have the total width of the all files, but the height are same. All right, only the widths get differ. So I'm going to use a variable for that. So let's use var. Now I'm going to initialize this to 0. All right, so for every file I'm going to use width plus equals bmp dot width. All right, now let's add this one. All right, now we are facing some problem here. All right, so this brace won't work. All right, so for this one I'm going to use rather than append line, I'm going to use append. So simply open this brace. Now we can do the rest normal. All right, so okay, as you can see, what I did is mostly copying and pasting from the original C++ file. All right, so let's see now. Not that we didn't do anything for this inside this loop, so that's okay. For now, let's just test how our C++ code generation. Alright, so I'm simply going to print after this loop, after this creation. So I'm going to use console.write line and cpp string buffer, and this is toString. Right now I'm going to run this. Alright, so we have this one is empty. So now the pat ID is 40. That means our pattern is has a width of 40. That is because that parameter is initialized and it gets the value from here. So looks like we have a readability problem here. Alright, so you can see this curly brace should come here, right? And seems like we lost the tabulation, so tabs. So let me get the tabs. Right, so this one, okay, so we should tab. So this should be append line and this should be append. So here is if inside. So let's see. Alright, now it's better, I believe. So we have return type and if. So this one okay, this one okay, and okay. So looks like I have a problem with these tabs. Tabs won't, seems like it won't work as expected, but don't worry, we have some kind of readability here. So let's now create the actual file here. So write all text. I'm going to, so for string I'm going to use, so my path will be so what's this C++ file name here? This pattern.cpp. Alright, now the contents are as like this. Now toString, close everything, Control F5 to run. Alright, it ran without any exceptions. So we have this pattern.cpp file. Alright, let's try to copy this. So it's in PWM, so I'm going to rename this by putting a dot to the beginning, so the Arduino IDE ignores that file. So I'm going to close, then open the Arduino IDE again. So I'm not going to save anything. Alright, so let's try whether we have syntax errors. If we do have syntax errors, we have to correct them in our C++ program. Alright, so I can see that there are no syntax errors, but I can upload this one, but this will give us errors. So let's do the second part. Alright, so let's generate the pattern values right here. Alright, now we should have the tabulation. Alright, so now the bulbs are going from 0 to 7. Alright, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we check the C++ file, alright, so you can see it starts from curly brace all the way to the 0 to 7 and close curly brace and a comma. So as you can see, there is also a comma. So let's start by doing this with the tab. So this is the loop. So I believe we have to start the open curly brace from here. Alright, so I'm going to use, so I'm going to just start append here. Right, the append line is after this one. Alright, so we are going to start appending. Alright, so with the tab, so I start the brace here. Now we are going to append again this same line, but here we are going to use so let's use string interpolation. PWL and a comma. Notice if we do this, so at the end of this loop we should close with append line. Alright, so this is append line and we are going to close. Notice there is a comma here, we should add that comma too. But if we do this, we have a comma here also. Alright, in order to remove that, so let's do something like this. Alright, so this should take care of the actually comma and a space, right? So we should remove the space and this comma too. Right, so if we reduce the length, let's see whether we can get some results here. Alright, so let's start this. So no problem occurred. So let's go to the file. Oops, I opened from the wrong IDE. Alright, looks like our last comma had been taken care of. And as you can see, if you check this pattern, you can see that these 255s are also diagonals. That means it's like diagonal lines. Alright, so again we can see that there is a tabbing problem, but that's not much of a worry here. Alright, now everything seems to be fine. Let's see whether we can upload this into the actual code. So let me close this. Alright, now I'm going to replace. Okay, so let me get, so this is the pattern file. Alright, so should have 40 here. Okay, let's see the compilation. Alright, seems our compilation have no issues. So I have port set, it should be COM5. So let's try to upload this. So as you can see, the LED is turned off. Alright, you can see this pattern is now processing. So this is the pattern that we generated from the Photoshop. Alright, so as you can see, if we take a look at our file, so this is 40 by 8 pixels, so 1 second. Alright, and if we zoom in, you can see this diagonal lines. Alright, so those diagonal lines represents this pattern, this behavior of the LED. Alright, so now let's try another pattern using Photoshop and try to get that pattern to our LEDs. Alright, so let me open the Photoshop for that. Right, so new, so again 48, no problem there. So let's use some simple gradient. So let me unlock the background and black everything out. And create a new layer. Okay, and let's get a gradient, black and white gradient here. So let's, alright, now let's see how this one turns out. So I'm going to use PNG here. So it's in C drive, so this so let me delete this one. go to our project. So it's in users folder, so text, so source, repos, and pattern LED, so bin file debug. So let me open that pattern CPP folder here, so delete this one. Right, so we have the C++ file. So as you can see, this is the center of the gradient. Alright, so let's copy these. Rename, and copy this. Close, open again. So let's upload this, so make sure the pattern file is updated. Alright, now I'm going to upload. So it's uploading now. So as you can see, this is the gradient that represents this file pattern. Alright, so we can draw many patterns. So let's try to draw another one. So let's get it Photoshop. Right, let's create a new one. Now let's create a 5-second long simple pattern. Alright, so 200 height, width is 200 now. Right, click OK here. So I'm going to zoom here. I'm going to unlock the background layer and create new layer on top of that and black out the background one. Alright, now let's do a line drawing here. So let me get my, so I'm going to mark 40 seconds marks here. Alright, so not 40 seconds, 1 second mark, so 40, 80, so roughly this 80, and 120, 60. Alright, that's it. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. So let's zoom into one by one and draw the line. Right, so I'm going to draw simple line here. Okay, now my color is going to be white. Okay, and from here to here, down. So from here to here, up again. Alright, now final second. Alright, now let's now let's export this one. Alright, save as. So we are going to use PNG here. So let's remove this. So 5S PNG. Alright, let's have a look how that file looks like. Alright, so this is the pattern file that is generated. Right now I'm going to remove this C++ file and let me open this folder 2 from this file. Right now it's generated the file. Alright, let's have a look. So it's a little bit larger here. So this is the, as you can see, these 255s are moving with the line here. Okay, so let's upload this and try see how it's work. Alright, so let's go to PWM. So I'm just going to rename this one. So underscore here. Oh, alright, now let's copy this. Right, let me close this and open this once again. Alright, let me check the file whether it's uploaded. Alright, it's now it seems uploaded. Let's see the where is. So it says now it's 200. Alright, so let's upload this and see how these patterns look like in LEDs. Now it's uploading, as you can see. Alright, so this is the pattern that is generated from this line, that line. Alright, zigzag line. So this is the pattern looks like. So you can see there's a small jump there. So that's because the pattern last video also, I mean the video that couple of weeks back also, that has the same problem. So you have the small jump here. So the jump happens, that is because from here to here there's an abrupt pattern change. Alright, so if we could get another second or remove 1 second from here and smooth and put down to 0 line like this, then this will don't have a abrupt jump. Alright, so that's the end of this video. So that's the end of the series actually. So I hope you enjoyed these two videos in this series. So you can draw any pattern from this Photoshop with black and white. So you can have any number of seconds here. Make sure 1 second is 40 in this case. So you can draw anything here and you can upload by using that C# program. So the C# program actually converts and generate the C++ code. So it's like a compiler here, small compiler. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and once again I thank you watching for this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, that is Fun Text with Hashan, and make sure to click the bell icon so you will get a notification when I upload a new video. So with that being said, I thank you very much, and thanks again for watching, and have a nice week, and goodbye and stay safe.